Hi, I'm Mark Fournier. Do you have a balanced life? Do you know what a balanced life is, or even looks like? Or do you even care? Well, in today's episode, Life Balance, you're going to discover that you can't really have the life of your dreams without balance.
Hey, when am I gonna learn how to punch?
Better learn balance. Balance is key. Balance good, karate good, everything good. Balance bad, better pack up, go home. Understand?
As important as it is,
Yeah, I understand.
few of us have been taught to actively pursue balance. In most cases, it's really thought of as more of an afterthought. The belief for most of us in Western culture is that the real secret to success is fame and fortune, or at least fortune.
Show me the money! That's it, brother, but you got to yell that shit! Show me the money! I need to feel you, Jerry! Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
Who among us haven't at some time or another believed that most of our problems would go away if we had enough money?
If I'd made more money. I threw away so much money. You have no idea. If I just...
Will be generations because of what you did.
I didn't do enough.
You did so much.
And yet there's ample evidence that money and happiness have little to do with one another. And if anything, we have proof of the exact opposite.
No, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. I don't need 24 hours. I don't have to talk to anybody. I know right now, and the answer's no. Doggone it. You sit around here and you spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider.
Now, I'm not saying that money is the root of all evil, although it can be the fertilizer. But I am saying that it doesn't take a genius to realize that no matter how much money you have, if the other areas in your life are greatly suffering, like your health, your relationships, or your emotional well-being, you can still be absolutely miserable no matter how much money you have.
People were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about, I know.
In the end, all the money in the world isn't enough to compensate for something like having a terminally ill child or any number of other things that can keep us from a truly successful life. So let's start with, what is a successful life? If you're aware of anyone who is both rich and famous, but still unhappy, and I'm sure you are,
I don't think you'd necessarily want to be me.
then clearly success can't be about these things. And by the opposite, if you're aware of someone who has an ordinary or average life and income and career and home, and yet they have an above average sense of happiness and fulfillment, and you probably do know someone like that, then perhaps it's time to ask ourselves, what do they know that the rest of us don't?
A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.
Why is it that we keep reading and writing and creating books and movies about people who have achieved great financial success, although they may be incredibly miserable, and yet there's almost nothing out there about the average person who's truly happy and content? Maybe there should be. But a successful life can mean almost anything to anyone, but there's a few things that most of us would agree on, such as being happy and fulfilled is success, and having peace of mind and purpose, and believing that we matter. But the only way of achieving that kind of success is with a balanced life. If you were to break your life into the 10 main areas and give each category a score from 0 to 10 based on your level of fulfillment, such as giving an 8 to your career and a 3 to your health, you'd discover something remarkable. As it turns out, someone with a score of only 5, but it's in all 10 areas of their life, would have a far higher quality of life than someone who scores a 10 in 5 areas, but only a 0 or a 1 in the other 5. Just think about it. Even if you were a trillionaire, clearly 10 in the financial security category, but your child, as I mentioned earlier, you just found out your child is terminally ill, or your spouse just ran off with someone, or you're in an airplane and it's on its way down.
Right now, everybody, get in crash positions.
You get the idea. So even with all your money, you'd still be unhappy if the other areas in your life were about to crash and burn. But this video isn't about money. It's about balance. And money, which is financial security, is only one of the 10 categories. So this video is really about taking inventory of your life and not only figuring out where you're out of balance, but how to turn it around. And if you still don't believe that it's important to have balance in your life, if you ever want to experience true success, just look around. Not at people's glossy Facebook and Instagram posts, but at real life, the real people out there that we see all day long. But here's the good news. It's never too late to reset your compass, to realign your values and regain your balance. And it's really pretty simple. Just do the following. Take the balance test, and fortunately, I've created a free app that will help you figure out how in or out of balance your life really is, and to what degree and in what areas. So go to the App Store, enter Life Balance Test, and once you download the free app and take the test, just follow the instructions. And it takes like 2 minutes to take the whole test. And the instructions will also give access to my website where you can learn all sorts of other interesting ways to gain balance in your life. And this is something that, by the way, you don't have to even wait. You can start gaining balance in your life right now by doing everything in your power to raise the areas, your lowest scores, to focus on those areas and bring those scores up higher. Even if it means doing so at the expense of the areas with the highest scores, of bringing those scores down. For instance, you might spend, if you score a 10 in financial security, but only a 3 in relationships, let's say with your family, well, you spend some of the money in your financial security to take your family out to Disney World, spend time with them, do things with them to increase those numbers. So even if you drop your 10 in one area to an 8, but it raises your 5 in another area to a 7, you're still going to be happier. And yes, you heard correctly. It's better to have a life full of 7s and 8s than a life with 10s and 5s. And this is because we've proven that people with everything in just a few areas of their life aren't nearly as happy and fulfilled as people who have more fulfillment across the board than if you have a couple of areas where you're fulfilled and the rest of the areas in your life where there's something terribly missing. So you certainly can't have the kind of fulfillment and success that you're looking for with a life that's only hit and miss in those different areas. So what kind of a life do you want? I'm hoping that after watching this video that the answer is a balanced life. I'm Mark Fournier, the Limitless Coach. Create a balanced life.